Okay,
Great.
session
Thank
will be
you.
recorded.
Great.
You come to the point
Great.
what we are discussing.
Yeah, we got it's recording now. Perfect. We can continue. Thank you so much, sir.
Anybody else try to say the objective of accounting?
So the
All
basic
of you are telling us-
objective,
Yeah.
the basic objective would be to run a business as it reads in the first line. The basic objective that we would be talking about would be the business in any one of forms. So that's
Business,
what
any one of the forms, I don't understand what you're doing.
So to determine the financial condition of the organization.
Come again, come again.
To determine the financial condition of the
Determine
organization.
the financial condition of an organization. Okay. What is meant by financial condition? What do you exactly mean by financial condition?
So it would mean whether how the business is running, how much is the expenses, how much of profit the company is making, or how much the loss the company is making.
So the profit and loss.
So profit and loss is the condition of the business.
The way
No,
we are,
that is one of the thing, but we to understand the entire cash flow throughout the financial year.
To understand the
cash flow, to a total cash flow throughout the financial year.
For that, you can simply maintain a cash book, cash ledger. That will be giving you the cash flow of the business, right? Why do you want to have all those accounts? If you have that objective of only knowing about cash flow, we can simply maintain the cash book, or we can simply maintain the cash account.
To know about our
These are the
liabilities.
purpose of knowing the cash flow of the business, right?
To record all the financial transactions of the business.
Recording, see, your objective is attending the class, or your objective is getting MBA degree? Which is objective?
so the MBA degree.
Actually, grow
Get
the
the ultimately to get the degree.
If I ask you what is the objective of joining here, you can upgrade your skill, you can upgrade your qualification, you can look for the higher position. Okay, all those things are consequences, right? But attending class is not a objective. Attending class is a part and parcel of that particular course itself. So accounting, of course, it's recording. I'm not denying that accounting is not recording the business transaction. It is very well recording, but recording itself is not an objective. Yeah, reach objective, we are going through some process. That process, one of such processes is recording. Okay, good. Anybody?
So grow the business. To grow the business, you have to track the financial conditions.
What is that word? First word we're telling to grow.
Growth of the business.
Growth of the business. Okay.
And which model, which area they have to invest more, that also tracking, so that they get the salary, then the infrastructure. That also part of the financial decision making. It will help. Proper information will gather once you get the balance sheet. So we can invest a new model. We can existing where you can the more you have to invest or you have to cut down. That also help because the report.
So this is not a first class. I'm asking you to guess so many things. Actually, we have done this right already. We have done with this. From my teaching, I want to know some answer. But all of you are very much intelligent. You are telling out of your own experience, your own pre-understanding of the accounting class. Some of you are quoting here and there very close to the point, but not in a very exact terminologies or very exact the words what I expect. Okay, no problem. Anybody? I'll give a last try to try my luck. Yes, anybody else? We studied in our previous session.
Is it accounting cycle, the cash book, purpose, or journal, ledger?
No. What I'm asking you, what's the question?
Why you need financial account?
No, you are creating your own question.
No, to keep a systematic.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. First of all, let us be clear about the question. what are we trying to answer for? What is the question I asked? What is the question we are trying to answer for? Yes.
Why
What
we
is
need
the
What is the purpose of the accounting?
What is the objective of accounting, right? What accounting aims at? Okay.
So accounting aims
Purpose
at
or aim, objective.
It
Final
aims
chance,
at
one or
keeping
two,
a
yes.
systematic record of financial transactions.
One at a time, sir. One at a time, please. Some chat box, somebody already written. I'll read that also. Yeah,
Sir,
one at
to
a time,
know-
please.
To know the present condition of the business.
To know the present condition. Somebody told before business condition, now you're telling present condition. I think both are one and the same. So my question remains unanswered. A sub question, that is, what do you exactly mean by condition? Somebody told profit, loss, expenses, income, cash flow, many things.
Sir,
But I'm
to
not
know the
convinced with
financial
it.
statement of the
Sorry, sir.
financial statement of the organization, sir.
What is that? What is the objective you're telling?
To know the current financial statement of
To
the
know the financial statement. Statement cannot be known, right? What is statement? Statement, from statement we can come to know something. Can we know the statement? Can I know your name? Can I know where are you coming from? May I know what are you doing? That and all is possible. But can I know the statement? So properly
sir.
you have to, yeah. But you are right. I'm just trying to take that exact terminology what we need. That's it. All of you are right. All your answers are right. I wanted very exact answer. Final one or two tries.
transaction statement.
Yeah, somebody written in the chat box. Akshay has written, and Lakshmi has written. To know the profit or loss of the business. That is the basic objective. All of you might have told here and there, revolving around this particular concept only. But we need that exact word. Okay, before that also so many responses are there in the chat box. I'm sorry, I did not see that. Yeah. The first chat message from Deekshit has come, and then yeah, many more. So among them, aim of accounting is to record all the financial transactions of an organization or company. That is one response. Another person, to know the profit or loss of the business. One more response, to know the financial position of the company, of any company. Okay. Another one is, yeah, to keep a systematic record of financial transaction, which helps the users to understand the day-to-day transaction in a systematic manner so as to gain knowledge about the overall business. Detailed explanation. Okay. Fine. So one more response just now from Rupesh, to ascertain the financial position of the business. So finally, what we can conclude or what we can accept is the message from Lakshmi and message from Akshay. To know the profit and loss, or you can say or, not and, to know the profit or loss. If there is a profit, there is no chance of loss. So the basic objective of accounting, basic objectives of accounting. Okay, basic objectives of accounting are these two. Basic, sorry, I'm sorry. Basic objective of accounting are these two: to know the profit or loss, not and loss, either profit or loss. And one more objective is very important objective. What he told is to know the financial position of the business. Somebody told no, to know the condition of the business, present condition. That condition only, in technically we are calling it as financial position. Please don't forget, this we have discussed long back with so much detail in the very beginning of the class itself. Okay, only two words are here. Profit or loss is one word, another one is financial position. If you consider these are four words, please remember these four words. Remaining all same, to know, that's it. Objective means you have to start with two. Okay, what is my objective? To reach, to attain. to get like that. So to know the profit or loss of the business, and to know, and second objective, and to know the financial position of the business. Financial position of the business. Please don't forget it. Keep in mind always. You are doing so many things in accounting, but all those things are aiming at. All those things are aiming at only these two things. Only these two things. Okay. How do I achieve this objective? To achieve this objective, I have a lot of process, starting from identification of business transaction, recording such a transaction systematically by following rules and regulations in journal, then posting into ledger, then bringing them into trial balance. So many process, preparing subsidiary books, cash book, etc. Rectification of errors, many things are there. But all these things are only for knowing about the profit or loss of the business and to know the financial position of the business. What do you mean by profit or loss? This also explained to you so many times. When you can say that business is in profit, when the income is greater than expenses. When income is greater than expenses, you can say there is a profit. Otherwise, the income can be lesser than expense. That time we can say there is a loss. There is a loss, right? Only these two possibilities. So we are going to compare income with expenditure. That time we are going to find out whether the company is in profit or loss. Okay, the company can be either in profit or it can be in loss. Okay, this is being done at the end of the accounting year, at the end of the financial year, normally in general. Okay, of course, companies may prepare once in 3 months the profit and loss account. Okay, to know the profit or loss of the company, profit and loss account. The statement which is prepared to know the profit or loss of the business in order to achieve the objective of accounting. So that's one statement. Second one is to know the financial position of the business. What do you mean by financial position? Financial position is nothing but assets, liabilities, and equity. You remember we studied in the beginning. Assets are always should be equal to equity and liability. Equity and liabilities. Equity and liabilities are to be equal to assets. So you are preparing a statement. In that statement, you are going to show these assets and liabilities, equities. That statement is called as balance sheet. That statement is called as balance sheet. This much only accounting. Please understand. Logic you understand. The number you are writing, the account you are preparing, that all is easy. That all is done by clerk. Easy. That is a clerical job. But the broader understanding is much more important. What is accounting? Why it is needed? Only for these two purposes. I am doing a business. I want to know what is the result of the business. The first objective is nothing but to know the result. To know the result of the business. Second objective is to know the financial position. The first one is performance. The second one is position. Result is nothing but performance. How the business has performed. How the business has performed. That I want to know. That is being achieved by accounting. Okay. That two objectives are being achieved by preparation of certain statements. Such statements are called as financial statements or simply final accounts. I repeat again. Basic objective of accounting is to know the performance of the business and also to know the financial position of the business. In order to achieve these two objectives, the accounting records so many transactions that are happening in the business organization chronologically by following some rules and regulations, double entry bookkeeping. They're preparing journal, they're preparing ledger, and we're preparing trial balance. Then if it is not tallied, we are going for rectification of error. Then we go for the preparation of some statements. Such statements are helping us in order to achieve the objective of accounting, that is to know the financial position of the business as well as to know the financial performance of the business. Such statements are called as financial statements. Financial statements. Financial statements. What are the two financial statements I told you? I told you two financial statements. One is profit and loss account. Another one is balance sheet. Balance sheet. So these two are the end product. These two are the end product of accounting. Financial statements. You can call it as financial statement, or sometimes you can call it as just like final accounts. Final accounts. Okay. Depending upon the nature of the form of ownership of the business, the format or the way in which you present these two statements will differ from each other. We are concerned with the financial statements of joint stock company form of organization, limited companies. We are not concerned about the sole trading organization, into undivided family business organization, I mean cooperative form, partnership. We don't worry about that. We worry about in our syllabus only the company form of business organizations financial statements. Okay. So I hope now you might have understood the logic, the framework behind this particular chapter, financial statements of joint stock companies. What is a joint stock company? Anybody can tell me? What do you mean by exactly the joint stock company? What is joint stock company?
Sir, I just have a question.
Yes, sir.
So this final account is a combination of profit and loss and the balance sheet, is it? Is that the right understanding?
Sorry, come again.
Final account.
Ah,
So is it just a combination of profit and loss account and the balance sheet?
no, what I told you, same thing only I told you. No, I'm not. Final accounts are nothing but the financial statements which comprise of balance sheet and profit and loss account. What is your doubt?
Yes, sir. That's what I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, you want to reconfirm it. Okay.
Thank you.
Final accounts are nothing but the account which is prepared at the end of the financial year. What we will prepare at the end of the financial year? At the end of the financial year, prepare profit and loss account and balance sheet. Okay, you can call this as a statement of profit and loss. Statement of profit and loss, or simply profit and loss account. Okay. Second is balance sheet, or somebody will call it as position statement. Position statement. Financial position is being revealed by the statement. So that is called balance sheet, or you can call it as position statement. These two put together is called as, these two put together is called as just financial statement. Financial statement, you can call them as just final accounts. Final accounts. That's what I was telling you. Right? Any doubt in this? First of all, the theoretical understanding. So what are we going to do in profit and loss account? In profit and loss account, we are going to find out either profit or loss. How do I find out profit or loss? I have to compare my income earned by the company in the total 1 year and the expenditure spent by the company in that particular year. The comparison between these two will result in either profit or loss. Okay. So that is what we are going to capture in the profit and loss account. And assets, liabilities, and equities are going to be recorded in a statement. That statement will give me the financial position of the business. So that statement is called as balance sheet. Am I clear in this? Is it okay so far?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, now next question. There are so many forms of business ownership available. We are concerned with only joint stock company in this class. Joint stock companies are dominating the economy. Okay, what I say dominating the economy means people prefer to work in joint stock company only because of the salary structure, because of the volume of operations, because of other reputations. Of course, other business ownership also give equal amount of opportunity to employment, but more and more opportunity are the unlimited sources available only for joint stock company. If I am a businessman, I have my own sole trading organization, only one owner. I have a limitation of investing only to some amount. I can't go beyond that amount. There are so many drawbacks are there in the other 4 forms of business organization. Superior form of business organization is joint stock company only. That is why we are concerned with only joint stock company in this particular course. Okay. So before I tell you how do we prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet of a joint stock company, we should understand what we actually mean by joint stock company. Anybody? What is exactly we refer the term joint stock company?
It is a business
limited
that is
liability
owned by
company.
shareholders.
Yes, madam.
It joint stock company. It's a business where the ownership of the business lies with the investors, the shareholders.
Okay.
And that particular shares is transferable also. And
Yes.
if it is public,
Private
then
limited company, can you transfer the shares?
it can be transferred, but it will be only within the family members if it is a private.
Family members. Why
No, it can
within the
share.
family
It can
members?
share anywhere. In outside
the-
also they can.
With the set of people who are, say, 3 or 4 people have started that business, only those people can have a share in that particular
Okay.
business. Whereas in public, it's not like that.
Mhm. So what exactly joint stock company is?
The broker companies, brokerage, those are doing
One minute,
brokerage.
wait. Group of companies. Somebody is saying group of companies, right? Yes, madam.
I told the brokerage company who
Sorry,
the
you told brokerage company.
financial institute who does for the brokerage. That is the
Okay. So other business cannot be a joint stock company.
it's not
Only those who
100.
are doing a brokerage business can be a joint stock company.
All the businesses.
Stock related is
Let her answer once again. Yeah. Yes,
because
madam.
the stock is related. Stock is the share market, so those are handling the share market, and they are considered as a stock companies.
Okay. But it is not so. See, that is very simple. See, if you are trading in stock, then only you will be called as joint stock company. Means there is no meaning at all.
Okay.
Then whose stock is traded there?
Both who invest, who buy and sell.
Both the parties involved in the business.
Company whose shares are listed.
Anybody else?
Shares are listed.
Yes, sir.
Company whose shares are stock exchange.
The company
Who are listed in the stock exchange.
listed in the stock exchange. So any company which is not listed in the stock exchange cannot be called as a joint stock company. What is basically a joint stock company?
See, joint
Again,
stock company.
I want a concrete, clear understanding. By end of the another 2-3 minutes, you should have a clear understanding about what is a joint stock company. Yes.
Joint stock companies where multiple ownerships are there, including public.
Multiple ownerships are there,
Including the public.
including the
Public.
public. What is that? Including the public. Public only can be the owner. No, who else can be the owner?
Public means, there are the main stakeholders. Like, for example, a company is there, a promoter is there, who is having the major stock of the shares. And then he also, raised capital from public.
Okay.
Shares.
So you and me are joining together and we are starting a company. Can't it be a joint stock company? I don't want any public to invest in my company.
Right, sir.
Can this company be a
partnership?
Can I one second? Let me close it. Let me close it. Just a minute. Can't that be a joint stock company?
Sir, any company can be a joint stock company. It depends on the shareholders.
What is that?
So-
Any company? Then what is company?
All those businesses that we run can be joint stock.
All the businesses are joint stock companies?
The joint stock company is
One by one. Let us not leave anybody just like that. Let him complete it. Yes, sir. Somebody told no, any company.
So all the businesses that we run, I meant as like where we have a company owned by company which is owned jointly.
That's
is,
what we
a
are
joint
going
stock.
to define. That's what you're trying to understand. What do you mean by the companies are owned by jointly? Owned jointly.
Any company which has more than one owner.
Any company which is having more than
Sir,
one
it
second,
is a-
madam. Madam, 1 second.
One
Others
owner.
listen to the conversation, then you can add the point. Yes, madam. Wait,
Sir, is
yeah,
it
yes, sir.
partnership? Oh, okay, sir. Sorry.
Okay.
Sir, are there partnership companies like 2 or more people together? Our directors join them and
Sir,
they
you
become a
have to
partnership
answer.
company.
The question is for you.
Sir, it is
If
a
you,
business.
me, and this madam, 3 of us are joining together, and in the partnership capacity, we are running a business. Will you call that business as a joint stock company? That's a question.
Sir, it is a business owned by its investors. Multiple
So
investors.
you don't consider me and that madam and that sir as investor?
Sir,
A,
if-
B, C, 3 of us joined together. Each of us have contributed 1 lakh rupee, and we 3 are partner. We are doing a business. Will you call this as a joint stock company or not?
Yes, sir.
So that is a partnership. So that should be registered.
One by
with
one, one by
government.
one. I want that answer from the gentleman who is telling that is partnership. Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, that if 3 people together and putting investment and starting the business, that is a partnership. But that should be a
Okay.
register with government within a
Mhm.
separate, like the who is invested, the company. They have this legal, they have freedom of taking any decisions. There should be passed like memorandum of associations, like that. The company have the separate freedom for that. With these people is not going to involve. They will involve and they will going to take decisions, but they can't. They will not going to act like an owner.
So you are telling that these A, B, C, 3 together running a business need not to be a joint stock company. Am I right?
Yes. That should be
Sir,
registered.
Then when it
I-
can be a joint stock company?
Sir, I would
When
emphasize
we-
it more.
1 second,
when,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please. Yeah.
when this company has more than one owner and is listed under the Indian Company Act or any company. for
Listed.
that-
What do you mean by listed under Indian
Registered,
Companies
sorry,
Act?
registered, sorry, registered.
Registered. Okay. So finally, we are coming to the fine road till now. So it's very simple to understand. Any business entity, or not even business entity, any entity which is registered under Indian Companies Act 2013 or any other Companies Act in India before 2013. If it is registered, that business or that organization or that entity can be called as just a company or corporation or joint stock company. These 3 words are giving the same meaning for us. Company. If we say company, it has its own legal significance. You can simply say, my friend owns a company in Anaikal. My friend owns a company in Jigni. Like that you are telling in usage. But really in legal point of view, company has its own meaning. Company means joint stock company. Then what is joint stock company? Why do I call it as a joint stock company? The simple way of understanding that is that gentleman was telling any entity registered under Indian Companies Act should be called a joint stock company. No doubt about it, 100% correct. Very good, excellent definition. But to know little more, how can I register myself in the Companies Act? Register, please understand the word register. All registered companies need not to be a listed company. Please understand. In India, we have 2 stock exchanges, Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. Okay, I'll come to that little later. For the others, those who are very new to the business registration process or business organization type, I'll just tell you 1 minute or 2 minutes. Let's conclude. That's not a subject matter for us. Just we have to understand that in the beginning. Okay, before going to the accounting part. Okay. Suppose I want to start a business. I have some business idea. I don't have required money. I have estimated I need 100 crores to start this project. I have only 1 crore with me. But the next option available for me, I can arrange the 99 crores as a loan from other sources. That's one possibility. That is very, very difficult because I am new businessman. The idea itself is new, undemonstrated idea. So nobody will be ready to believe my business idea and give money in traditional format. If I borrow, they won't be interested. Okay. Then second possibility is I can take some of the similar like-minded people who believe in my idea and take money from them. They are also ready to give, but they won't give for free. They're asking, give me some kind of ownership in the business. Okay. So you are ready to share the ownership of your business. Before you are 100% owner, 1 crore you had a small startup. But the business idea what you have is requiring further 99 crores to put that idea into practice, idea into commercialized world. Okay. So you are ready to share your ownership. Previously you were 100% stakeholder in the company, shareholder. Okay. You are the owner, one and only owner, sole proprietor. But now you are ready to share your ownership with others, the fellow investors. Please understand, investor is a common term, very broad term. Okay, now you are ready to share the ownership of your business with other investor. They are giving money just like you. Another 99% joins together with you by giving 1 crore each. So now 100 members are there in your company, in your business organization. So to have a smooth functioning, later on, you should not get disturbed by this 99%. After seeing your idea, after seeing your business going well, they should not get greed, or they should not get any kind of, create any kind of disturbance for you. If they want their money back, if you are forced to give, then your entire business will collapse. So for that, we need a legal formalities. So in the world, we have a legal formality, that is the act of the particular country. So there is a act called Companies Act. The ownership is shared among many people. Of course, in partnership also it's happening. But partnership is something different from joint stock company. The partnership may be registered under Companies Act under LLP, or it can be registered under just a partnership. Okay, or it sometimes may not be registered. There is no compulsion to register a partnership form. Please understand, partnership is a firm. Okay, company is a legal entity. Company is different from the owner. Suppose you have a share, you are selling that share to somebody else. The company remains the same. The company will go on. Men may come, men may go, but the company remains forever. That's the principle of company form of organization. To put it in a nutshell, the entire ownership, which needs 100 crore, is being shared by many people, 1,000 people. In my example, 100 people. Okay, each and every one of them are called as shareholder. The money what they have given is called as share capital. Okay, share capital. Now, in order to leave the business alone, leave the business to run forever, the shareholders are allowed to sell their ownership in the business to anyone else without the knowledge of the other people, depending upon the type of the company. Please understand the type. If it is a public limited company, the shareholder of that company can sell their shares to anybody without even information, without even giving information to the existing shareholder. But if it is a private limited company, please understand, private limited company. And one more caution to all of you, private limited company need not to be a family company. Of course, it can be, but not necessarily to be. Myself, my wife, and my 2 sons, all the 4 of us are joining together and forming a business under Companies Act in Indian Companies Act 2013. It can be a private limited company, or it can be a public limited company as well. If we have 7 members, we can register as public limited company as well. Okay. Suppose 10 members are there, all of us are friends. We don't want to register this company as a public limited company. We can register this as a private limited company. So please understand, private limited company can be a family-owned business, or it need not to be a family-owned business, not necessarily to be always. Same time, all public limited company need not to be really having a general public. It can have only the family members, possible. Only thing is 7 members are to be there minimum in the public limited company. Myself, my father, my mother, my wife, my children, okay, and my co-brother or own brother. Like that, we can form 7 members, and that company can be a public limited company. Please understand. The difference between these two companies is the shareholders, transferability of shares. In public limited company, shares are freely transferable without the permission of the fellow owners, the fellow shareholders. I can freely transfer to anyone in this world. If I am okay, I can donate, I can give for free, or I can collect money and I can sell the share. Okay, that money does not come to the company. I have given 1 crore to the company in the beginning. That money I never get back from the company unless otherwise the company is closed down. If I want the money, I can sell that share to anybody else who wants it. You might have seen last month, Zomato IPO was Zomato IPO. Somebody has applied. Anybody applied for Zomato IPO in the last month? I think it was there. Anybody? All of us may be familiar with the concept of the business model of Zomato, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So nobody applied. Please try that. You are all earning some salary, so you can save. Always you have to save money. The first expenditure in your income should be savings. Okay, please don't have an equation like this. Savings are equal to income minus expenditure. No. Expense is equal to income minus savings. Mathematically, both may be same, but financially both are different from each other. I repeat again, you should have a first expenditure as savings. Whatever you earn, sir, I earn only very, very less amount as salary. No problem. Out of that, how much you can save? Save that money. From that savings, please try for some of the investment opportunities. These kind of IPOs. Just try 5,000, 6,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees like that. Okay, come to the point. I am allowed to sell the share to anybody else in public limited company, but in private limited company, no, I am not allowed. I have to sell the shares to the existing members only. So private limited company can be called as closely held company. Public companies are called as publicly held companies. Anybody can buy, anybody can sell that company. Okay, right. So by this time, you might have had fairly some understanding about what is a joint stock company. Why we call joint stock? What is stock here? Stock refers to the bundle of shares. It was older term actually. Today you can buy 1 share or 2 shares. Those days, we cannot buy 1 share or 2 share or 3 share. We have to buy the bundle of shares, the lot. Lot system was there. Even in the secondary market, lot system was there. Suppose ICICI Bank will tell 10 shares of ICICI Bank is equal to 1 stock of ICICI. So if I want to buy the ICICI share, I have to buy minimum 10 shares. That is what we call it as stock, 1 stock. Other company, HDFC may say 5 shares are equal to 1 stock. So it depends upon the company. How many shares are equal to 1 stock. So it was called as joint stock. I have given 1 crore, my friend has given another 1 crore, 1 more fellow has given another 1 crore. So all these are called as stock for me. Okay, stock. All these people are contributing to the total stock of the company. Stock here refers to the bundle of shares. Total capital of the company is 100 crore. So 100 members have contributed 1 crore each. So 1 crore is the stock for that person, stockholder. I am holder of 1 crore worth. Likewise, 99 more people are there. So totally put together, the total stock of the company, the total capital of the company is 100 crores. That is why it is called a joint stock company. The stock of the company is jointly owned by the shareholders. Okay. Any doubt in this joint stock company? Can I move on to the next one? Any reply?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So now straightly we'll come to the main aspect of it, that is preparation of profit and loss account and balance sheet of a joint stock company. I'll show you the format. Actually, BCom students, please be more careful. Okay, right. So the joint stock company in India is governed or controlled by, regulated by, just now we discussed now, Indian Companies Act. That tells what and all to be done by the joint stock company. Rules and regulations. Everything is clearly written in the Indian Companies Act. Okay. Of course, we're having memorandum of association and articles of association, which are the two internal documents. The rules and regulations of the company will be laid down in that documents as well. Memorandum of association. It is a document which governs the rules and regulations between the company and outside. And articles of association within the company, what are the rules and regulations to be followed? Okay, that is altogether a separate subject. Let us not touch upon that. So, point is, you cannot prepare financial statement of joint stock company on your own format. You have to follow the format which is given by Indian Companies Act 2013. Okay. But other forms of business organization, you can prepare on your own. Then what is the format given by the Companies Act 2013? Look at this. This is the format for balance sheet. This is the format for balance sheet. Name of the company you write first, then balance sheet as at, look at this word, as at 31st March 2021 or 22 or 20 or 19, like that. This is the heading. Name of the company, then balance sheet. Particulars, note number, then amount. Note number and amount. In real time, there will be two amount column. One is for the current year, one is for the previous year. But in academics, we cannot have 2 years, we can have only 1 year, current year only. Figures at the end of the 2021. In this case, at the end of the 2021. Reporting period is 2021. So we can write like this. Okay. So what is balance sheet? I told you already. What is balance sheet? Anybody can tell me? What do you mean by balance sheet?
It's a financial statement of the company.
It is a
Financial statement of the company.
yeah, it is one of the financial statements. Okay.
We can call financial positions.
From which we can come to know the financial position of the business as on a particular date. That could be a fairly good explanation for what is a balance sheet. I repeat again, balance sheet is a statement which records the assets, liabilities, and equity of a business on a particular date in order to show the financial position of the company to the outsiders or to the readers. Okay. So whenever I say financial position, please understand, whenever I say financial position, I am just referring to three things. Financial position means I am referring to three things. What are the three things? One is equity. Another one is
liability and assets.
Liabilities. Another one is
Assets.
These three are the three variables or three groups of items which will be there in the balance sheet of a company. Balance sheet of a company. Balance sheet of a company. Okay. Forget about this. I'm not putting typing. Assets, liability, and equity. So to prepare balance sheet or to prepare profit and loss account, both we are preparing simultaneously or at the same time. The two things are going to be prepared. If I want to prepare profit and loss account and balance sheet, what is the base from which I can prepare the statement of profit and loss and statement of financial position? Where we start, from there we have to start, right? Yeah, yes.
From trial balance?
From the trial balance. Trial balance. Yeah, from the trial balance. So to have a practice of preparation of financial position statement and income statement, I should be having trial balance. Okay, and not only trial balance. Along with trial balance, I need some more additional information. Additional information. What is additional information? Sometimes the transactions have not been entered in the books of accounts. You told no recording of transactions. We can't assure that all the time, 100% all the transactions are recorded in the books of accounts. There will be some transactions which have not entered into the books of accounts, still waiting for entry. But without entering in the journal ledger and all, I'm directly preparing the directly preparing the balance sheet and the financial statement. So it has not entered anywhere. So those informations are called as additional information, or we'll call it as adjustment. In accounting, we'll tell them as adjustment. So these two are important one from which we can prepare profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Only in the format given by the company side. So if I understand what is balance sheet is nothing but a financial statement which includes equity, liability, and assets. So in balance sheet, I am going to have three columns. First column is equity and liability together. You know that equation, right? Assets should always equal to liabilities plus equity. Since this is the equation, I am having two sides in the trial balance. Two. One is asset side, another one is equity and liability side. The first side of the first part of the balance sheet is equity and liability. Look at the equity and the liabilities. From the trial balance, I have to identify what are the items which come under equity, what are the items which come under liability. I just take that items and I will write one by one in this format. One by one in this format. You cannot write on your own. You cannot write on your wish. This would be in this order. It would be in this format only. So the first item in the equity column is shareholders fund. What is shareholder fund? The amount given by the shareholder in the beginning, plus or minus anything lost or anything gained in the business. Okay. So share capital is the first one. Reserves and surplus is the next second one. These two are put together. We call it as shareholders fund. Then long-term liability. Non-current means long-term. Long-term. Whatever you have taken as a loan from outside, that need to be recorded in the balance sheet. How do I know? From the trial balance, I will come to know. From the trial balance, I'll come to know how many items are there. Okay, with regard to liabilities, long-term liability. Non-current means long-term, non-current. Current means short-term. Okay, then current liabilities, short-term liabilities. From the balance, from the trial balance of the company, I will be taking one by one all the current liabilities and I'll write it one by one in this column. Okay, this column I'll write amount. Suppose there are so many items under one heading. Say for example, trade payables. Trade payable means bills payable, sundry creditors. Okay, so there are so many items available in the trial balance. Bills payable, sundry creditors. Okay, like that. I have to add. I will take a small note workings and I'll add it in the rough work. The total amount I will bring it here. That workings need to be numbered. That number is called as note number. Suppose the trade payables you are writing here 25 lakhs. How these 25 lakhs has been arrived? In the trial balance, only one item in the name of trade payables, I can bring it and I can write it without a note number. Suppose in trial balance, 3-4 items are put together, we call it as trade payable. That time I have to prepare one small note. That note need to be numbered. Suppose note number 7. Starting from here. This is note number 1. This will be note number 2. Like that. Any doubt up to this? With regard to balance sheet. Half of the balance sheet I have done.
I'm sorry, sir.
From
This is
trial balance?
Mahesh here.
Yes, sir.
Could you please help me with the note number one more time?
Sorry?
The note number, the logic behind the note number.
Logic behind the
note number.
Note number, okay. Note number is nothing but a working note number, that's it. We are going to get this figure from the trial balance for each and every item. Directly, if you are having the trial balance, share capital 5 lakhs, no more addition, no more deletion means no note number is required. Suppose share capital, you are writing here in the trial balance, in the balance sheet, the share capital is 1 crore. Okay, 1 crore. If you are writing 1 crore, how this 1 crore has arrived at? Is it directly there in trial balance or not? If it is directly there, no need of writing a note number. In trial balance, there are 2-3 items put together. We bring this 100 crores. I mean, 100 lakhs or 1 crore, whatever
it becomes one.
That time you write the note in a separate page, note number 1. What are the constituents of this 100 crore or 1 lakh or 1 crore? Like
so, whatever is adding to become this
whatever
1
you are adding,
crore
whatever is subtracting
is the note number.
Yeah. Working note. Something about a working note.
Working note, got it.
If it is directly given, no need of working note, directly write the amount.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
So after writing all these 3 items from the trial balance, you just take a total of these 3 items. Okay. The total you are writing it here. Total of liability and equity.
Sir,
Then second, yeah.
Sir, this deferred tax liabilities, how do we get that information?
Everything will be there in the trial balance. Trial balance is the base from which you are going to prepare the financial statement of the company.
Okay.
If it is not there, we can't do anything. If it is there, you have to bring it according to this format. Okay, I'll explain to you what is tax liability. How it is a non-current liability. Actually, if you have not paid the tax, you are going to pay in the future. That time it becomes liability. If you have already paid in advance, that becomes asset. Because the same thing will be there in the asset side also. Deferred tax, asset. You have paid extra. You have paid in excess. Government will not leave you. Okay, you have to pay the tax. I'm not talking about GST. I'm not talking about any other those days of VAT and all. I'm talking about income tax. Income tax is different from GST. Okay, income tax means out of the earnings of the company, out of the profit of the company, just like an individual, just like you and me, how we are paying income tax on our salary, on our income. Companies are also liable to pay income tax. But companies are not allowed to wait for till the account is closed and knowing the profit, then only pay tax. No, you have to pay some advance tax. Government wants money. So for that, they collect money from the company. Advance. You are going to close your account only in the month of April. 1st April or 31st March, you will close your books of account. It will take some time. Up to that time, I can't wait. I want money to run my government. So government is asking you to pay, anticipating how much profit you may have for this quarter. Out of that profit, you pay a certain amount as tax, advance tax. Then you calculate your tax at the end of the year. 31st March, you close your books of account, calculate the real amount of tax, and you have to adjust the tax, whatever you paid and whatever still you have to pay. That's the point. That's why deferred tax comes there. And one more thing, Companies Act is giving you some guidelines to prepare the profit loss account and balance sheet, which is not accepted by Income Tax Act 1961. Please understand. This is what we are studying is according to Companies Act, only pure books of accounts. But Income Tax Act is not ready to accept the profit and loss account only prepared under Companies Act. Why? What's the reason? Income Tax Act is telling you to minus certain expenses, not to minus certain expenses from your income to find out your profit in order to get the proper amount of tax from the company. So net profit according to Companies Act and net profit according to the Income Tax Act need not to be one and the same. It may be different from each other. So that's also another reason why deferred tax comes into picture. The tax what I am supposed to pay, the tax what I paid will not be exactly equal with each other. That is why deferredness is there. I'm going to pay in future the difference. Or I have paid advance. I will be adjusting the excess tax paid in the next year. I can't get back my money. Just like an individual getting back your, what you can say, tax filed, return you are filing, and then you are getting back your tax if you paid excess. But companies are not going to do so. They'll be adjusting in the next year. So all those reasons why we have this deferred tax. Okay. If it is there in the trial balance, you bring it, otherwise ignore it. Madam, is it fine?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then current assets, non-current assets, these two are the asset side components of the balance sheet. Asset side component. Okay. In current assets, all those assets which are easily convertible into cash within one accounting period of time. Non-current assets are nothing but the fixed assets. Long-term usage of assets. Long-term usage. Land and building, machinery, equipments, furniture, car, computer, all these things will come under non-current assets. Non-current assets. Current assets are those assets which are converted into cash within one accounting period. Normally, stock, inventories, goods, raw material, okay, cash, bank account, debtors, trade receivable, all these things are the current assets. So if we add the current assets total and non-current asset total, we'll get the total of assets. This total of assets should be exactly matching with the total of assets and total of liabilities and equity. If it is 25 lakhs, here also 25 lakhs should be there. Then only accounting equation is tallied. Assets are always equal to the total of liabilities plus total of equity plus liability or liability plus equity. Any doubt in the balance sheet? We will do one balance sheet. Anybody has anything? Somebody is trying to ask anything? Yeah, I have missed some chart box. Something is the public share. Okay, the previous answers. Any doubt with regard to balance sheet? Okay, let us come to the profit and loss account. Another important statement. Another important component of financial statement is profit and loss statement or profit and loss account. Here also, the Companies Act is giving us the format. But the basic logic, why do we prepare profit and loss account? To know the profit or loss. How do I know the profit or loss? I have to compare my total income of the company of that particular year from the total expenditure of the company for that particular year. If income is more, it is profit. If expenditure is more, it is loss. So I can't remember all those things from the day one to the end of the 365 day. So I record everything in the books of accounts. That comes into the summary of all the accounts come to trial balance. So based on the trial balance, I again prepare profit and loss account. The format is given here. Name of the company as you had in the balance sheet. Then profit and loss statement for the year ended. Look at this word. For the year ended. In the balance sheet it was as on or asset, as at, as on. This is for a particular day. Tomorrow the balance sheet will not look like this. Tomorrow, suppose cash balance, you have cash rupees 10,000 here, 10,000. But tomorrow you have deposited one more 1,000 in the bank. So cash will reduce by 1,000. Bank balance will increase by 1,000. The balance sheet will change. Total balance sheet or the balance sheet item, the individual components will change. But profit and loss account once prepared, that is like that. That is for that year. We can't change it. Of course, next year you can have another profit and loss account. So it is for the 1 year, but balance sheet is for 1 day. On that particular day, what is the position? Okay, right. Now, what is the format of profit and loss account? We have to take all the revenues of the company, add it together, and take all the expenditure of the company, add it together. Then you have to minus the expenditure from the revenue. You will get the profit or loss. I repeat again, the very first item, the very first item in the profit and loss account is revenue from operation. What is revenue from operation? Anybody? What is revenue from operation? What do you mean by operation here?
Yeah, it's
Core
we can
activity
say
of-
as
Yeah,
productions.
yes.
It's a production only for related to the operation. What is the
Okay.
sales
Example?
occurred for the period?
You can take an example and tell to the class.
Yeah. If you take any, like if you're selling scooters, maybe we have sold 10 scooters. That is called the revenue from operations. There may be other income also will receive like incentives or some other like. So that is not related to our operations. So only the focus, mainly focus on the productions.
Very good, very good. Anybody else?
Sir, so suppose if I automobile company, revenue through service.
Yes. Are you talking?
Yeah, revenue through service, sir.
Revenue from?
The service given. Like for example, automobile company, they service in their authorized service station. Okay. The revenue from that.
Okay. Simple example, you take all of us are in the college now. Okay, in the higher education now. Suppose the Anand Sagar University collects fees from you, and the Anand Sagar University is just letting out the stadium for some important government function or any other functions for that matter. Both are giving revenue to the university, right? Collecting fees from the student. Another one is letting out the state-of-the-art auditorium, which is owned by the Anand Sagar University for a government program or any kind of social programs. They have just given it for rent. An important program, they have given it. The revenue generated from that auditorium cannot be called as operating revenue or revenue from operation. The revenue collected from the fees collected from the students can be called as revenue from operation. Okay, that's just difference. The core business, if you get any money from that core business of your own, then that is called revenue from operation. Okay. Suppose there is a company. Yeah.
Is it if we are selling I'm manufacturing. I have a manufacturing business, and I sell
What
my
are you
building.
manufacturing?
I'm manufacturing some goods like clothing.
What clothes?
Clothing,
Okay.
clothing, and
Textile manufacturer. Okay.
yeah, and I am selling a building which I own. The company owns.
Okay.
The profit from that, will it be considered as revenue?
No.
Okay.
See, your business. What is your business?
Textile industry.
Manufacturing textile.
Yeah.
If you have any building, old building or unused building or a surplus building, you are just disposing it off. From that, you are getting some revenue. That revenue is not the revenue from operation. That revenue is other revenue. Other.
The company e-waste and
you have
selling
deposited
old
some
goods.
money in the bank. The bank is giving you some interest. That cannot be considered as a revenue from operation. That should be considered as other income. Suppose there is a real estate company. That real estate company is selling the building or land or piece of land. That revenue generated by that real estate company is a revenue from operation. I hope you are able to understand the difference.
Yeah.
Yes,
Revenue
sir, yes.
from operation is the nature of business which you carried. So
Yeah.
we are earning. That is called revenue
Yes,
from.
exactly. The core activity of business is that means the revenue from that operation is revenue from operation. The core, you are for that. Ancillary, by chance, by flow, you are having some more income. That income is not revenue from operation.
Sir, in the same textile industry, if I sell the scrap, will
That is
that
not
go-
revenue from operation.
Okay.
That is not revenue from operation. That is other income.
Okay, sir.
And again, it depends on the accountant to classify. Okay, the core activity. What is core activity? That decides the revenue from operation or other income. So from the trial balance, I have to pick these two, revenue from operations separately and other income separately. Normally, in most of the case, revenue from operations is nothing but sales. Simply sales. Sale of goods. Sale of their manufactured goods or the goods what they are trading in. Okay. Other income can be dividend received from other company for the investment, interest received, etc. Okay. So these two together added and it is written here. That is called total revenue. Total revenue. Now from the total revenue, we have to minus all the expenses. All the expenses one by one. All the expenses one by one you have to minus. The first expense is cost of materials consumed. It cannot be clearly there in the trial balance. You have to derive it. What is cost of materials consumed? This is applicable only for manufacturing company. If your company is not of manufacturing nature, this entry you have to write it nil. This sentences will be there. Point A will be there, but you need not write any amount here. If the trial balance does not talk about materials consumed, when it won't be there. If your company is a trading company, you won't have any cost of materials consumed. Okay. Now you are a manufacturing company. How do you arrive at this cost of materials consumed? In trial balance, there will be opening raw material plus purchase of raw material, minus closing stock of raw material. Closing stock of raw material will be there. So opening stock plus purchase minus closing stock of raw material is equal to materials consumed. Okay. The next, purchase of stock in trade. This will be only for trading companies. This will not be there for manufacturing company. Purchase of stock. You just buy finished goods from outsider and you are keeping in your godown and selling it. That time you will be called as trader. Just your merchandiser. Okay. You are acting as a middleman between the buyer and the seller. Okay. So you are buying stock of goods. It is not raw material. It is a finished goods. You are not going to add any value to the goods what you bought, but you are only displaying it. You are having customer, you are selling to them. That is called purchase of stock in trade. Stock in trade means finished goods you are buying and keeping in the company and selling it again. And third one is change in inventory. What is change in inventory? The opening and closing. The difference between opening value of inventory and closing value of inventory is called as change in inventory. What and all you have to take? You have to take everything. Okay, except the raw material. Okay. So opening stock of work in progress plus opening stock of finished goods plus opening stock of stock in trade. Look at this. Opening stock of work in progress. How do I know? It will be there in the trial balance. Then opening balance of finished goods. Opening stock of finished goods. Then opening stock in trade. Opening stock in trade minus the closing of all these things. Closing stock of work in progress, closing stock of finished goods, closing stock of stock in trade. Opening will be there in the trial balance itself. Closing will be there in the adjustment. I hope you remember when I was talking about the base from which we prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet. I told you we need two. One is trial balance, another one is additional information. Additional informations are nothing but any raw transaction that have not been entered into books of accounts. One among them is like this. Finished goods will not be there in the trial balance. It will be there in the adjustment. Separately, it will be given. Finished goods of stock, finished goods of raw material, finished goods of work in progress, like that. So you take and write it accordingly in the statement. Any doubt in calculation of change in inventory? This change in inventory can be of minus or plus. It depends upon the value of this opening and closing. If opening is less, closing is more, automatically the net result will be opening is less and closing values are more. Then what will be the change in inventory? Plus or minus? Are you all there?
Minus.
If opening stock is 1 lakh and closing is 1,20,000, then the result of change in inventory to be recorded in the account will be minus or plus?
Minus.
Minus. So change in inventory can be of either minus or plus. Don't worry. It depends upon the sign. Okay. Next, all expenses what you are paying to your employees, salary, bonus, commission, etc., etc., etc. Whatever you paid, it will be there in the trial balance in different names: salary, wage, commission, traveling expense, bonus, everything will be there in the trial balance. You take all of them and write it in a note, take a total. That total you bring it to the employee benefit expenses column of profit and loss account, amount column. Here you write amount column. These are all amount. These are all the amount you have to write. Whatever the trial balance value, you have to bring it here and write it. Okay. Then you will take the total of it. Sorry, next expense is finance cost. Finance cost means any interest, any kind of bank charges. If you paid, if it is there in the trial balance, you bring that. Okay, a small point, adjustment I told you, no. Suppose in trial balance, salary is given 1 lakh. Employee salary 1 lakh. After the trial balance, there is a sentence. 20,000 of salary is still pending to be paid. Now tell me how much you will add in the employee benefit expense in the name of salary. In the trial balance, it is clearly mentioned salary is equal to 1 lakh. In the adjustment, 20,000 worth of salary is still payable for the month of 2021 March. If that is the case, how much will you take in the profit and loss account in the name of salary under the heading called employee benefit expense?
80,000.
Why 18,000?
See, the current year I paid only 80,000 to the employees.
Current year?
I paid only 80,000 to the employees. So balance 20 I have to pay. So that is the liability for the current year.
So what is the amount I told you it is there in the trial balance?
1 lakh.
1 lakh.
1 lakh. So how much is there in the adjustment?
20,000.
20,000. So how much you will be recording in the name of salary in the employee benefit expense?
1,20,000.
Somebody told 80,000. Already you paid 1 lakh. Then what is the meaning of writing 80,000 as salary? You have to recognize the exact amount, then only you can prepare, you can understand the exact profit or loss. Salary for the year is 1,20,000, but you have paid only 1 lakh. 20 you are going to pay later. But anyhow, to make the production, to make the sales, I have paid, or I am supposed to pay 1,20,000 as salary. So outstanding salary to be added with the current salary. Excess salary paid means you can minus excess paid. Suppose I am telling rupees 20,000 salary was paid to the employees in excess, which is going to be adjusted in the month of next year, April. Then I can minus from the 1,20,000, I can take only 80,000. That is called accrual salary. Another one is called outstanding salary. Okay. So this is what the way in which you have to prepare the employee benefit expense column of P&L account. Next, whatever the payment you made to debenture holders, lenders, banks, financial institutions to use their money. Simple thing is, you have taken a loan from somebody, bank or any other institution, for that how much you are paying as interest. That need to be recorded under the heading called finance cost. Any bank charges, any interest paid or payable will be recorded under which one? Finance cost. Then last but one, depreciation. The value of fixed asset what you buy today will not be remain the same forever. The value of the fixed asset will gradually decline. The reduction in the value of fixed asset over a period of time is called as depreciation. You are really not paying any amount to anybody, but the value of the asset is reducing day by day, year by year. So I have to provide certain amount out of my total asset value as depreciation to charge then and there to make the asset value to be nil and one particular point in time, that I will do. So that is called depreciation. And amortization. Amortization is nothing but similar to depreciation on intangible asset. Tangible asset is depreciation, intangible asset is amortization. Suppose goodwill is there 1 lakh. The management decides to write off the goodwill for 20,000 rupees. So 20,000 will be returned in the P&L account as expense. Remaining 80 will be there in the balance sheet as an asset. Goodwill, patent, copyright, etc. Okay. Any doubt in this? Expenses. Any expense which is not covered under A, B, C, D, E, and F. If any expense is there in the trial balance, that you can bring it under the heading called other expenses. Other expenses. Then you take the total of the expenses column A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That total need to be minused from the total revenue what you have in the third. Like this one. From here, what you have, that from that you have to minus the total expenses. If you minus, you will get the profit before tax, minus tax, you will get the profit after tax. So this is how you have to prepare the profit and loss account and the balance sheet. Any doubt before we close it for break for 5 minutes?
So I had a quick question, sir.
Yes, sir, please.
In the expense, I'm not getting the difference between A and the C, the inventories and
We
the
are
budget.
getting the difference between A and
C.
Okay. What is your doubt?
They pretty much look the same. So
Which one, A
materials,
minus C?
cost of materials consumed and also changes in inventory. So both can
Cost
be raw
of?
materials consumed
Ah.
and changes in inventories.
Both are different. Cost of material consumed is different from change in inventory. Cost of material is nothing but raw material. Look at the change in inventory. We have never told about anything on raw material. Look at the point number C. Opening stock of work in progress, opening stock of finished goods, opening stock of opening stock in trade, minus the closing of these three. But point number A talks about only raw material. Point number C talks about anything apart from raw material. Are you getting the point? What
Got
is
it
the
now, sir.
total value of goods?
Yeah. So it is
Value
finished
of
good.
materials he used. That is point number A.
Okay.
Point number C talks about, is there any difference between the opening of last year and the closing of current year?
Got it. So one is raw material, the other one is goods primarily.
Yeah, first one is raw material. A is raw material. C is nothing but work in progress, finished goods,
Got it.
stock in trade.
Got it, sir.
Stock in trade means anything we buy just like that and we will keep it and sell it. We don't add anything. We don't process anything. But raw material means we buy some material and we do some process on it. Then we'll convert it into a different product. Then we'll try to sell. That's called raw material. That's captured in point number A. The other one is captured in point number C.
So stock in trade
Stock in trade means suppose you are a furniture vendor. You buy the furniture itself. Okay. Some other company, what they will do, they will buy the wood, timber, they will process it and they will convert into a furniture. Stock in trade means furniture, what you are buying. Or paint company, the paint it's stock in trade. Stock in trade means any goods what you buy just for selling. You don't process anything. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I am a computer vendor, I'll buy just a computer. I'll display in the showroom, I'll sell it. For me, the computer is stock in trade. Stock in trade. Computers are kept for trade. Yes. Any other doubt? From the Companies Act, we have to learn this format and you have to prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet only in this format. We cannot do anything else. Especially BBA, BCom students, you have to follow this format only. You might have studied a different format in your school or in your college. If you do that, I will be giving you 0 only in the exam. Last year, it has happened because you all think in your mind that you know accounts. Of course, I respect that, but Whenever there's a change, you have to get updated. You cannot stick on the same format what you already learned. Okay. So this format you have to prepare the profit and loss account and balance sheet. Okay. Take 10 minutes break. Again, we'll reassemble by 3:10 and we'll work out 1 or 2 questions for this particular chapter called the financial statements. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me that time also. Thank you. I'll just pause for 10 minutes.
Sure,
Is it
sir.
fine?
So
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
we started the session. Oh, great. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Right. So the profit, I mean, the resource and surplus is 3,25,700. Then the second item of the balance sheet is share application money pending against allotment. That normally comes for a new company. Okay, now Zomato company has issued IPO. If the company has prepared the balance sheet before the allotment and after the issue of IPO, then this that amount collected by the
Sir,
company
can I
is reckoned.
interrupt? Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you please run us through with all that we have done in this session so that it gets recorded, if you don't mind? Like if we start from the third point, somebody who's watching the video may not understand it. It'll confuse. Or a quick run through, not in detail. Thank you.
Okay. From where?
From the beginning, sir. From the first point. From equity. Yeah.
From the equity. We have done this before. Profit and loss account we have done before. Before the sale?
That was not. I'm just talking about somebody who's watching the
Okay,
video may not understand.
So
Yeah.
fine. So balance sheet.
Thank you.
Is comprising of 2 components. One is equity and liability, another one is asset. So from the trial balance, we have to take one by one all the items which are concerned with equity as well as the liability and asset. So the first item is from trial balance, that is shareholder fund. First one is share capital. In the trial balance, it is given 3 lakh rupees as share capital. Trial balance, 3 lakh rupees is given as share capital. Out of the 3,16,000 rupees as not received by the company. So it is 1 lakh, only 2,84,000. So the 2,84,000 rupees is the capital, share capital. Okay. Reserves and surplus is nothing but the amount of profit not distributed and the amount of profit just kept in the profit and loss account. So that need to be calculated. Come to the working note number 2. Look at this working note number 2. Reserve fund in the beginning given the trial balance is 2,50,000. So I have taken that as a base, and the current year profit transferred to reserve is 60,000. From the profit and loss account of the current year, 60,000 was transferred. So the reserve is increasing by 60,000. So I'm adding 60,000. The total reserve is going to be 3,10,000. Okay. Then I need to calculate surplus. To calculate surplus, I have done a separate note here, working note number 1. That's a sub note. Okay. So the opening balance of the profit and loss account of the company for this year is 27,000. And the current year, the company has earned the profit of 1,19,700. If I add that with the last year profit, it becomes 1,46,700. That is the amount of profit available in the company at the end of this current year, which can be used for dividend or transfer to reserve or any other purpose that the company decides. But this company has decided 3 things. One is transfer to reserve, another one is interim dividend, another one is final dividend. So I need to minus all these 3 from the total profit available, distributable profit. Okay. If I deduct these 3 from the available profit, I will get the surplus profit. That means the profit which is not used for any purpose and left with the company in the name of profit itself, in the name of surplus itself. So I deduct that. First one, interim dividend given in the trial balance is 21,368, on which the company is to pay tax of 3,632. So the total dividend for the company account is 25,000. Okay. From the profit, I minus 25,000. And again, at the last day of the accounting year, the company has decided to give dividend of 25% on the total capital, paid up capital. That is equal to 2,84,000 into 25%. That is nothing but 71,000. So 71,000 the total dividend, on which I already paid 25,000. The remaining is 46,000. And I have transferred 60,000 rupees to reserve. So these three amounts need to be minused from the total profit available in the company. So that becomes 15,700. 1,46,700 minus 25 minus 46 minus 60. That becomes 15,700, which is the surplus left in the name of the profit and loss account, which is going to be the opening balance of the profit and loss for the next year. Okay, so this needs to be added with the surplus, resource and surplus heading. So I'm coming here, resource and surplus. Refer the row number 1, 15,700 is answer. I have this answer already, so I am adding these two together to find out the total resource and the surplus. Total resource and surplus, which need to be recorded in the balance sheet. The second item called resource and surplus. 3,25,700. 3,25,700. You got it? Next, after this, the third one is, sorry, the second one is share application money pending for allotment. This will appear only for, this will be there only for any company gone for IPO and not allotted the shares yet, but in between these two, they are preparing a balance sheet. Suppose 20th of March, they are gone for IPO. Allotment is done on March 4th. So before that, 31st March, you have to close your books of account. That time you are preparing a balance sheet. Only those companies will be writing the amount here. You would have gone for IPO, and before the allotment, you would have gone for preparation of financial statement. That time only this will come, otherwise it won't come. So I'll just block it. It won't come. Okay. Next, non-current liabilities. Long-term liabilities. You have to refer, scan through the trial balance and find out any kind of long-term liabilities. Let me take you to trial balance. Already we have discussed equity, expense, liability. Look at the fixed deposit is one liability. So that I am bringing it here. Liability. Okay, I'm going to the note number 3. Fixed deposit. Fixed deposit is one liability. And again, go through the trial balance. Is there any other liability? Look at this. No liability. Yeah, here one liability. We already discussed. Debenture. Okay, so this also added. Debentures 1 lakh. So total liability becomes 2 lakhs. Total 2 lakhs. So this 2 lakh is carried over to balance sheet in the heading called non-current liability, in the subheading called long-term loans or long-term borrowings. Right. So remaining all are not there in this company. I'm just leaving it blank. Then current liability, trade payables are there. We already discussed the trial balance. There are bills payable, there are trade creditors like that. So I'm taking a note. Creditors are given in the question as 1,50,000. Look at this. 1,50,000 creditors. From where it was there, no? Creditors. Yeah, creditors. 1,50,000. Okay. Then bills payable. 90,000. So total is 2,40,000. So write it here, 2,40,000. Trade payable includes bills payable and trade creditors. Then other current liability is not there, nil. Short-term provisions. We have prepared a note. The dividend proposed need to be paid. So how much already paid was 25. Proposed, original proposed is 71. The remaining balance 46 need to be paid. What is the 71? 71 you already calculated here. 71. Working note number 1. 71,000. Yeah, this 71,000. Okay. Already you paid 25,000. Remaining payable is 46. Is the short-term provisions. 46. Okay, that's all about the assets. I mean, equity and liability side. So I'm taking a total of this. Total is 10,95,700. Then I come to second component of the balance sheet, that is asset. Under asset side, first item is non-current assets. Okay, under that first one is tangible asset. Tangible, anything which is tangible, building, land, equipment, everything. In this question, what are the tangible assets are there, and is there any depreciation on that? Look at this. There are three tangible assets are there. Three: building, machinery, and furniture. Building, machinery, and furniture. Building value given in the trial balance is 1,80,000. On that, you remember 2% was the depreciation. We already calculated. 2% is equal to 3,600. This 3,600 was taken to profit and loss account in the name of depreciation. Now, it is a beginning value, this is a depreciation value, this is the closing balance. So this 1,76,400 is to be taken into consideration for tangible assets in the name of building. Then machinery. Machinery value was given in the book, given in the trial balance as 89,000. There is no depreciation given in the question, so I'll take it as it is. 89,000 is the today's value also. Then furniture was given in the question 80,000, for which 5% is to be depreciated. Okay, so 5% of 80,000 is 4,000. So the closing balance or depreciated value of the furniture is 76,000. So if I take the total, 1,76,400, 89,000, 76,000. The total is 3,41,400. Is the total value of tangible asset to be shown in the balance sheet. Look at the balance sheet. Tangible assets, 3,41,400. 3,41,400. The next item in the balance sheet is long-term loans and advances, what we have given to others. In the liability side, what we have taken. This is what we have taken. Long-term loans and advance, this one, what we have taken. Okay, but here now it is what we have given. We have not given to anybody, so dash. Okay. Then other non-current assets. The preliminary expense is there, no, that will come. Note number 8. Preliminary expenses. You remember, I was discussing with you in the beginning when I was talking about preliminary expenses. Total is 60. Out of that, 15,000 was charged to profit of this year. Remaining is going to be slowly reduced in the future. So that is going to be an asset as of now. So that is 45,000. 60 minus how much is taken for today, current year profit and loss account. So that is 15,000 minus from 60, that's 45. Look at this, 45 will be there. 45. Okay. So next, current assets. Current investment is not there in the question, so dash. Inventory. Inventory means closing stock. Closing stock. Let us go to the note number 9. All the closing stock. We have to take it if anything is there. Only one closing stock is there, and no tools are there. Tools. So 38,000 and 80,000. Total is 1,18,000. 1,18,000. Yeah, 1,18,000 inventory. Okay. The next one is trade receivable. This format you should be remembering in the mind. A, B, C, D, E, F. In that I'm just filling it. Okay. So trade receivable includes bills receivable as well as the trade receivables. Bills receivable and trade receivables, or you can say the debtors. Okay. So go to note number 10. Note number 10. Trade receivables. Debtors and bills receivable are given in the trial balance. If you want, you can check the trial balance. We are taking from there only the trial balance. Look at the trial balance. Yeah, bills receivable is 61,000. Debtors are 2,20,000. So these two, 2,81,000. 2,81,000 is the trade receivables. Cash and cash equivalents. How much the cash balance available in the company? Look at the trial balance, 12,000. That's an asset. I'm taking the asset side of the balance sheet, current asset, 12,000. Then there is no short-term advances given, and there is one current assets, other current assets. What is that other current assets? prepaid insurance. You remember? There was an insurance, but 1,500 was prepaid. We have taken out that one from the expenses of the company. We have not deducted. We have not considered this. Only we have considered the current year insurance. This is going to be the current asset for me. So that's coming under other current assets. Next year insurance will minus. So other current assets 1,500. That's all. We have written all the assets in the asset side of the balance sheet. Now you take the total of all the assets. These are already taken. These are liability total, liability and the equity total. Okay. Now I am taking the total of rest of the assets, all assets. That becomes the same amount of the total of liabilities and the equity. 10,95,700. 10 lakh. This is how you have to prepare the balance sheet and profit and loss account from the trial balance and additional information given to us. Now we have some more time. Do you have any question about the financial statement of the company? You can ask me.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm able to hear you.
Yes, yes. So in the balance sheet, you have mentioned like other current liabilities and the long-term and short-term provisions and all. So what and all will comes under? If you see in the other current liability, like there may be provisions, bonus, and lot of things.
Other current liability means any outstanding expenses. Suppose salary, you have paid only 1 lakh, but actual salary is 1,20,000. 2 months salary you did not pay. The 20,000 need to be added in the profit loss account under the heading called salary. Along with 1 lakh, you will add 20,000 also. So you will show the salary as 1,20,000. Here, other current liability you have to take outstanding salary 20,000.
Yeah, if I'll go to trial balance, there may be a lot of items will be there in like see the bonus.
In trial balance, the name will be outstanding salary, but actually outstanding salary will not be there in trial balance. It will be there in the adjustment. They will be giving you salary of 1 lakh in the trial balance, and they will tell you the information. 2 months salary, which is equal to 20,000, is still payable. That time, take 1 lakh plus 20,000 to profit and loss account in the name of employee expense under the heading called the salary. But in the balance sheet, you have to take 20,000 rupees as other current liability in the name of salary outstanding.
So, and how we need to bifurcate is a long-term provision and short-term provision. Is there any
depending upon the time required to repay it, the time required to utilize it.
Yeah, as per my understanding.
Within a year, if you are able to close it, that is a short-term provision.
Yeah, that's
if
what
even going beyond that is a long-term provision.
Yeah, I also understand the like way. Whatever the during the period which we are going to pay within 1 year, so that we can consider as a short-term liabilities.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fine. So thank you.
Sir, in this particular
practice 2-3 questions, then only it will be easy for you to understand it more further.
Sir, in this particular document, you have a few numericals for us to solve.
Yeah, it is there, no?
Sir,
it is there in the LMS also.
Where can we find the solutions to them? Just to cross verify.
No. Solutions. See, there are some questions with solution. There are some exercise without solution. That without solution, you just work it out. Balance sheet is tallied. That is okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And by this time, you know the answer. You know the logic. Of course, if the answer is there, you will be getting double confident. I understand, but work out those questions which are having answers.
Yeah,
and if you work out the questions which are not having answer and you are not able to tally, then you tell me.
Yeah, I have seen one that format in the balance sheet, same one. So in that we have the share capital and calls in arrears. In the same balance sheet format, they have showed like less calls in arrears. Then they have showed as a net of like 3,16,000 minus then 2,84,000. They have showed as a liability. So in your format directly your net of fund showing in this one. So
No, it is not my format. What is the another format?
yeah, I have seen some book. Actually, I have taken in my somewhere I kept in my desktop. So I have seen this. So share capital is total 3 lakhs minus calls in arrears, they are less. I think it is
No.
in PUC
There is
book.
no difference. The only thing is I have taken that in a note. You are telling that note is not required. Do it in the statement itself.
Correct.
If you do it in the statement itself, then there are n number of items to be minused or plus. So the statement will become too big and it will become confused. So we have a note number. So please go with the note number. In the note, you find out the value. In the statement, you bring out the net value. That's it.
Yeah,
I think that is more there in the T format.
One second. Let him complete. Yeah.
I have seen that one in second PUC book.
That is in the T format actually, primarily.
No. See, don't confuse the others. If you are having knowledge about T format and other format, these people will get confused. Account format you are talking about. Okay, forget about that. You just follow this.
Yeah, okay, fine. So thank you.
Yeah. Especially the BCom students, BBA students, those who already studied accounting, please follow this. If you are not following this, even though your answer is exactly correct, balance sheet is tallying, matching, I will give you 0 only. Because we are having that very clear in the book, in the syllabus, according to new format, according to new Companies Act. So please follow this. And I'll tell you, please go through some of the real-time balance sheets and real-time profit and loss account, which I have taken here, but I was not spending time to explain to you because of paucity of time. Look at this in my document, it is there. I have taken one textile company's balance sheet, which I like more, and which company I follow last few years. I have taken here the PDF format or a picture. If you have a time, you go through the company's annual report or the website of the company, the financial will be there. Look at this. This is a company I have taken the balance sheet and the income statement, that means profit and loss account. Is it visible? I'm not able to see that.
No, sir. We are saying page
No,
25.
blank page is there, right? Blank page is there. Once again, I can start. So that is the format you have to follow. One second, I will just check it why it is not. Whichever the company, if you work for, you take any company of your choice or your own company, but it's a listed company. You have to take a listed company's balance sheet and listed company's profit and loss account. Private limited company's balance sheet and income statement may not be publicly available. That's another thing. So you have to go with the listed company. For listed company, it is compulsory. They have to publish the data, publish the annual report. Okay. Along
I
with
have seen the company website, sir. In some of the
it
companies,
will be there. In the company's website, it will be definitely there. If it is a listed company, it should be there. If you are able to prove that it is not there, then you can just proceed with SEBI. SEBI will impose a heavy fine on that because it's compulsory, legal obligation on the part of the company. It's a public. Yeah, look at this balance sheet as of 2018 March. There's a company. Okay, Rajabalayam Mills. This is a textile manufacturing company in Tamil Nadu. So I just follow this company, and some of my friends are there working in the accounts department. If I have any doubt or to clarify, it is easy. So I have taken this company. This is the real balance sheet. Look at this. The person who is preparing it, okay, and the person who is responsible for this in the company, everything is there. This person is the auditor, and this is the company, okay, chairman, managing director, and the CFO and secretary. They need to sign in the document. Look at this. This is the income statement, revenue from operation. This is the little difference. Finance income separately to be shown, but you don't worry about that. You show other income. Okay. Expenses, all these expenses. Then they have to sign. it's a what you can say, it's a brief about the performance of the company and position of the company. If you want a detail, you have to go to this note number given in this note. Look at this. 42,603 lakhs is the total income of the company. How that company earned that much? Any explanation that company wants to give, that has been given in note number 29. You have to go to note number 29. Balance sheet also. Look at this balance sheet. Equity. Okay. Equity. Of course, we have done the ulta. First, we have taken equity and liability. This company has taken asset, then equity and liability. That's okay. Not a problem. Equity. 737.62 lakhs is the equity share capital. How it is? It is a called up or paid up, arrear, everything will be there in note number 19 only. Okay. So give the result here and the workings there in the note. I request you to go through one company's balance sheet and one company's profit and loss account for just understanding. Some voice is coming, some noise. Okay. Anything else?
Sir, I have another question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, just about companies' accounts, for the final examination, would we be asked journal entries for, debentures, issue of debentures, redeemable of debentures? Then for the shares.
See, whatever is there in the syllabus, that only will be asked. No.
No, is it there, sir? That's what I'm asking.
Syllabus I shared with you and I discussed with you. Anybody can answer this gentleman? He is asking, is there any chance of asking journal entry for issue of shares and issue of debentures? Am I right, sir?
Yes, sir, correct. And
yeah, anybody can answer to this gentleman?
Forfeiture of shares, issue of forfeiture.
Yeah, anybody can answer quickly?
Yes, that will be question. The journal entry first we need to prepare, that is the base. And then we have to go for.
Your answer is yes or no?
Yes, yes.
How? Why it is yes? You did not understand his question completely. His question is not about journal entry. His question is about will the journal entry be asked about the issue of shares and debentures? Issue of shares and debentures are not there in your syllabus. Journal entry is there, but journal entry is just a starting point of the accounting, so it is there. But issue of shares and debentures are not there in the company accounts for you. You are not studying company accounts. You are studying financial accounting or accounting for managers. So issue of shares and debentures are not there in your syllabus. In assignment, I have asked you one entry or two entries for that only issue, only one entry.
Oh, that's why that question came up.
Only one entry. Because without money, how can you start a company?
Right, sir. Right.
I have to do something for that. No, so I have given you that entry there. Otherwise, issue of shares and debentures itself is a separate chapter.
Yeah, that's a huge chapter.
Yeah, that is a separate chapter. That is not there for us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sir, this final accounts, sir, while you explain, it seems like we understood. I come from a non-commerce background, but when we actually sit and do it, right, so it is very difficult. So we do refer back your
yes.
this sessions and all. Sir, is there any recorded sessions that wherein you explain some 2-3 kind of these examples for us to understand?
You are asking me some of the link for recorded session.
Yeah.
Be in touch with Aravind. I'll also check it. If it is there, I'll put it there. Otherwise, the control is there with Aravind, sir. He will be doing it. Mr. Aravind is there, no? He will be giving you that access in LMS. I'll also put a word. If it is not there by Monday evening, you tell me. You just ping me in WhatsApp. I'll also remind him once again.
Okay.
He will be doing it regularly.
Sir, for us to practice now, what do you suggest? So shall we take a trial
for the practice, the book, what I given in the LMS, the +1, +2 book, as well as the material what is shown right now to you, that material is also available in the LMS, that you practice. Or any textbook which is showing the profit and loss account and balance sheet in this format, you can practice for the broader understanding.
A
At
very
least
less
minimum,
textbook, sir.
at least minimum, what you should do is this material. This comprises of at most some 10 problems. Okay, that plus the NCRT material for financial statements. These two are compulsory. In addition to that, you want to get more understanding, then you have to go with any kind of textbook which is on corporate accounting or which is on financial accounting in the same format that you can prepare. That is for additional knowledge and additional input. Minimum requirement is this material plus NCRT textbook with regard to financial state. Yeah. Did I answer to you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. And I was not able to take your previous class. You were informed properly that time, I think last
Yes,
week.
yes, sir.
only,
We
no?
were informed.
Yeah,
We were
yeah.
informed.
Yes, sir.
So I could not even put a message to you.
Yeah, yes,
Informed.
sir. We were informed, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, okay. So you were not waiting, no?
No, no.
Thank you, sir.
So anything else in the financial statement of the company?
Sir, once we read through, questions will come up. We'll come
Yeah,
back to
correct.
that.
Once you go through the questions, once you start answering the questions, then you may have some kind of doubts that you can clarify in the WhatsApp group itself. You may not have
Yeah,
time to.
I'm like pretty new, so yeah, I'll have some questions for
Yeah,
you, sir.
that is
I'm
only
like
just
10 days old
you can-
only.
Yeah, you can put a lot of messages over there. You can answer there.
Sure, sir.
Yes,
sure,
sir. We
Thank
will
you.
go through these practical exercises that you have. In
Mm.
case we have doubts, we'll just put it up
Mm.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, same here,
Okay.
sir.
Please help us
as
on
we
that.
have no time, I'll just take another 2 more minutes about your assignment. I will upload it, but I'll tell you right now orally for 2 minutes. What is your assignment 2?
Please, sir. Thank
You
you,
have
sir.
done the assignment 1, right? Assignment 2, it's already late. You have to start working on it. The assignment 2 is about financial statement analysis of a company. I repeat again, we just studied financial statement preparation. But assignment is about analyzing such a statement. To connect with the previous work what I gave you, I told you to go to the real company's website and download their profit and loss account and balance sheet. Read it. 3-4 days you read it. Understand. Then do this assignment. The assignment is about analyzing such a statement. What is analysis? There are so many tools to analyze. You apply only one tool, that is called ratio analysis. Ratio analysis. Side by side, you just learn what is ratio analysis. It's very, very easy, and it is not only for accounting student, it is for mathematics. Just like mathematics, relationship between two variables. So that is common for all. It's not only for accounts or commerce student. So please get some idea about ratio analysis. You are going to apply the ratio analysis. You are going to perform the ratio analysis for a selected company of your choice, listed company which you select of your choice. Okay, so you in this week you decide about your company and you download the data, I mean the balance sheet as well as the profit and loss account. Then you start learning about ratio analysis theoretically by seeing some video or by seeing some text in the NCRT book. It is there. Read it. Next class I will be talking about that. Okay, with that you just start doing your assignment. So please don't wait for the class to start on ratio analysis to begin your assignment. Right away you start doing something, then the class will support you to complete your assignment. Okay, what is the last date other subjects they have given for second assignment?
September 1 is in.
Second assignment due date.
September 10 is for organization theory.
September 10, that range, the other subjects they have given.
Yeah, HRM they have not given. For OT it is September, and
Okay.
for marketing management it is the end of this month.
Okay, you take September 15th is the last date for us. Today it is 15th, right? 14th, tomorrow 15th. So 1 month complete. September 15th, you take it as a last date to submit the assignment for assignment number 2, that is performance of ratio analysis or financial statement analysis.
Sir, is this an individual assignment or a group assignment?
Only one company, so individual is better, right?
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
It's better.
Sir, what is the format to submit that?
What is the
that
all
format,
other
sir?
all other aspects, all other concepts? I'll write in the assignment description, which you can see in the LMS.
Okay.
Just for the idea, I have given you. I just disclosed it. You just start working on it. The initial preliminary work.
Okay. Okay. Thank
The
you.
document will support you to understand all other points, all other formats, and everything.
Sure, sir.
Sure, sir. Anything else anybody would like to bring to my notice before we close it for today?
Not at this point, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
God bless everyone. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, sir.
sir.